Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what is the scenario? What's going up? What's going down? Welcome back to the MLB Pick'em Show, brought to you by Underdog here on Mayo Media Net. Oh, yeah. Sign up to that bad boy. Use the promo code MMN. First $100 is free. If it's free, it's for me, baby. Baby. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this year. Feedback's been pretty cool, and we're starting to make some money, which I guess is kind of fun also. Hat tip to Patty Mayo, hat tip to Underdog, bringing this bad boy. Fastest pick'em show in MLB, absolutely anywhere. Thank you for making us your lineup block show. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm making it happen. It's what we do. Me and you, Mayo Media Crew, full slate tonight. Oh, yeah. Love that. Nice selection. Got a couple of picks. Let's go get them without any further ado, man. All right, I got a 3-pack tonight. We got so many nice ones to choose from. Let me just get my order all set before we launch the plane. First up, Detroit Rock City, those Tigres on the road against the Twinkies. This one's at 8:10 p.m. The over-under set at 7, so you know the book's not really expecting a lot as far as scoring goes in this one. You know, I was a little thrown off. Sometimes it kind of shows that we're obviously using something different than the book. So let's dive on into it. We got Jack Flaherty on the bump against Joe Ryan. Now, Flaherty, again, it's been a little bit of an up and down rate. He's kind of on his reclamation tour right now. ERA at 4.9, whip at 1.2. However, the underpinning stuff is really very strong. Sierra 3.10, expected ERA at 3.8. The velo is good. 25K to only 3.8 walk. I mean, that's just like really sick control. 21.5K minus BB, 15.5 swinging strike. Again, the ball rate, right? We always want to be looking at ball rate when we're talking about walk rate. But again, just as we build that tapestry, right? The underpinning stuff, it's all very strong because that's the stuff we want to back, right? You know what? People that are like, oh, look, he walked 2 guys, so we're going to hope he walks 2 guys again. That's not really it, right? We want to get more to the why. But again, 34% whiff rate from Flaherty has been excellent. Getting ahead of everybody. Winning outside the edges, so not allowing any foul balls, which we also love whenever you're on these pitcher props, and just winning in the zone. He's really been like the best version of himself. Jeff L., what's going on? Grab your spear, grab your shield, kid. Flaherty, we know, has topside potential, right? There's no question. It really never was. It was like an attitude thing or like an environment thing, and then he got hurt, which again exacerbates everything, right? Winning and health make everything better, and like losing and hurt make everything worse. Okay, so I think Flaherty's kind of getting dogged when he shouldn't have. Let's check it out. He's had less than 3 walks in each of his last 9 games through this year, going back to last July. I mean, and now he's showing really the best of it. I walked you through the ball percentage validating that super low walk rate. And if you dive into the pitch mix, right, kind of pop the hood on him, looking really good here. So he ditched that sinker, which is terrible. First of all, that's like the best thing you could hear about a pitcher if they're making a change. Right? He's ditching a sinker. It's like a contact pitch. It's the worst. It had a 600 expected slug and only 10% whiff rate, which are both really terrible. So meaning like it doesn't induce whiffs and it gets hit really hard. He's dumping that for more of his slider, which is like objectively awesome. You know what I mean? Sometimes the answer is very intuitive. 230 X slug, 43 whiff to go with the curve, that knuckle curve. 279 expected slug, 47 whiff. The point is, now that he's adding this second like legitimate money pitch, that's what it's all about. And especially since he can throw them to both-handed hitters. Having one super out pitch is great. Hitters learn to identify it or guess at it and avoid it. When you have 2, very tough, especially if you could throw, let's say, 1.5 of them for strikes. So I just think Flaherty's getting dogged a little bit. I mean, he's been really good. Like, if you're a fantasy nerd, you're going to add Flaherty, you're trying to trade for him right now. And the Twins' offense stinks. I'm not sure. We really shouldn't be avoiding him at all. Let's take a look. But again, you always want to – we're going to split this stuff by handedness. I think it's very important, especially in prop play, right? When Yo, player props about my dude. What's going on, Jay Bird? My man, Gravy stuff. Love it. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you, people, for supporting the show. Rate, review, subscribe. That stuff matters more than it should. Sign up to Underdog. Use the code MMN. You might be looking at the future best ball champions, right? Either me or Just. I'm doing pretty well in the baseball tournament. I'm doing really well in the baseball tournament. I went, like, it's early, but it's been a couple weeks, and I'm in first or second in like an inordinate amount of these things. So I'm sure I just put the absolute horns on it. All right, let's get back into the Twins and how bad they've been against right-handed pitching, right? If we're just looking at Flaherty, then you could isolate the right-handed. In fact, I think you should. Twins batting 182 as a team, 275 OBP with a sub-600 OPS, just disgraceful. The K rate at 27.5. The walk rate is 8.7. Right, again, we're looking at walks. I don't want to bury the lead anymore. Right, it's Flaherty walks. But the swinging strike rate at 14.4, the in-zone contact rate down at 77. The point is, they're aggressive and like they're swinging and missing anyway. But they're aggressive and we're going to be throwing strikes. No, we're going under. We're going under the walks for Flaherty. I think he's been really good. I'm surprised he's kind of getting dragged. Maybe he'll go out and walk like 3 people in the first inning and I'll get the L for love on that one. But that's the first one. Let's put it up there. Flaherty under 2.5 walks. Come on, 2.5 walks. I really should be fully transparent. I was so into it. I bet the under 1.5. I got really good odds on it. Right? I got like 6+ money on it. But still, I jumped on that. I think Flaherty's on that back kind of that like ascendant path. And I think we'll be looking back on, wow, he was really good kind of this whole time. Again, I love these control metrics. They're off the hook. And the Twins are just waving wildly at everything. Like, they're just really terrible. So, no, hopefully we're not too worried about the walks if we're betting on it, Joe. Let's go get the next one. It's the flat fish from Florida, those pesky Rays from Tampa, heading down to the boogie down Bronx to face the New York Yankees. New York Yankees. 7:05 p.m. start on this, 8.5 over under, which in case you're new to any of this stuff means like the book is just like, man, I don't know. 8, when you see a total of 8.5, that means they don't know. You shouldn't even take that. It's like, 8.5. The 8.5 is the default. 8.5 is what I have on my program, right? 8.5 is what I have on my template, and I change the other ones. Okay, just to look at tip. 4.5 to the F5, just to give you an idea when you're trying to scale these games as far as offense. It's a good idea, to use, the totals, right? Again, we're not saying to ignore Vegas totals. You do want to look a little closer because sometimes, I should be a little more clear, sometimes if 8.5 is split, meaning they have the same team total, that's the I don't know. If one is greater than the other one, they're just worried that the bad team is not going to score. So it could have been a little more clear, but 8.5 really still is the default. All right, let's go. Tyler Alexander on the bump for Tampa. I mean, like, so boring. 356 career innings to an 18% strikeout rate, 8% swinging strike, and 90 zone contact. Actually, it's a shade under that. Let's even call it 89. Between friends. So it's all contact. David Pickett, what's going on? Thank you for jumping aboard, supporting the show. It means a lot. Comments like matter, interaction, and that stuff. Like, again, if you want the show on when the weather is still warm, that's one of the ways to get there. So we do thank you. You're signing up to Underdog. Use the code MMN. All that good stuff. Rate, review, and subscribe. Supporting Patty's work because he's the man. Yeah, well, Patty's actually cooler off air somehow. Go figure, man. Hey, man, success kind of finds the right people. I was fun. All right, anyway. Tyler Alexander. I don't want to. It's just the guy stuff, right? Come on, in this age of we have all these cool metrics and guys throwing, pitching ninja gifs and stuff, looking just absolutely ridiculous. So this year, it's been a really rough go for Alexander. I mean, this might be the last we see of him. 15 1/3 to a 6.46 ERA, 1.6 WHIP, 973 OPS. All the indicators like at 4.8 or worse. I mean, the fastball velo is down at 89. Very hard to succeed in the bigs right now. I was blanking. It's like under 93. where, like, oh man, you let's start worrying about having to need all this elite control and stuff. So it's just not been there again. Alexander, I don't know how long this is going to last. 10 came on his BB, 9% swinging strike. Now the ball rate is very good, right? 30% ball rate. He goes up there and throws strikes, but 17% whiff. Tons of foul balls also. And tons of zone contact into the night, zone contacts into the 90s, because the foul ball rate is at 45 with a 17% whiff. Like, you just got to try and envision this stuff when you're on. If he's on the mat, he's not really doing anything positive on a per pitch basis. So this guy K's absolutely nobody. That was kind of the point I was trying to get to. I don't want to just leave the answers, my place on the screen the whole time. Then you don't have to listen to my banter. You know what I'm saying? So then you get over to the Yankees. Again, I hate to be a Yankee homer, but if they do anything well, Yankees team discipline on offense really is fantastic. It really is. If it's not the best in the league, maybe it's the second best in the league overall. But again, if we're going to split it for handedness and take a look just at the left side, you got to think the Yankees are the best. I mean, it's outrageous stuff. So we're trying to get to the under strikeouts here. Under 4.5 is the number. Let's get to the Yankee side against lefties on the season. 21% K rate as a team. That is probably top, let's call it top 8. 13.5% walk rate. So they're not going after anything. 8.8 swinging strike. That's a match. Like, it's incredible that the team offense has the same swinging strike rate as the opposing pitcher with a better chase rate and the same zone contact. So we kind of have this perfect matrix of he throws nothing but strikes. They don't go outside of the zone anyway. He doesn't induce whiffs. They don't swing and miss. He's pitching to contact. They don't miss a thing. Now, the power stuff is not great for the Yankees, of course. That's not really what we're chasing right now. But I usually look at disciplinary stuff to be the indicator for offensive surge, especially when there's talent. So I always feel weird talking good about the Yankees because people always say, oh, man, you're a homer. And like, meanwhile, I kind of hate them in the way they run. But you show me this kind of disciplinary and approach profile, I tend to think that by not going out of the zone and by waiting for everything and making contact, that you're eventually going to capitalize, and start making good contact again. We're talking about like Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. I mean, these guys are very good, right? Even regardless of what you think about Volpe and even Gleyber Torres, like, that's fine. I get those guys who will kind of have warts, can be good but not great. But, like, if we're going to start arguing about Aaron Judge's power or Juan Soto's power when he actually swings the bat, of course. So that's the second one. Let me flash it. Woo! Flash it. We're heading down to the quad. Everyone's going. Come on. Going streaking, bro. Oh, my goodness. So the first leg was Mr. Captain Jack Flaherty. 2.5 walks allowed lower. Tyler Alexander on the bump for the Rays against the Yankees. 4.5 strikeouts lower. I do have one more, but before we get there, remember to rate, review, and subscribe. Mayo Media Net. You got to be 18 to play when you sign up to Underdog and you use the code MMN. Let him know Big Johnny sent you. Go on social media. Hit up Patty Mayo. He loves that stuff. Hit him up in the middle of the night. He loves that stuff. Who doesn't? Yo, John's great. I'm sure he likes looking at his phone. What? Who cares? Got to be 18 to play. 19 certain states. Make sure you read the rules, man. Terms apply. And if you're concerned with your play at all, 1-800-GAMBLER. They're there for you, ncpgambling.org. You can even holler at me. Because I actually do care. All right, let's get into the last one. Jeff L. All right. Go to Bed Bath & Beyond, maybe Home Depot. I don't know if this time. I don't know if I have time. Where are those movies, right? Forget it, man. Don't even get me started. Where are those movies? I haven't laughed at a television show or anything or in forever. The world is just not allowed to be funny. All right, let's do the last one. Some people already saw it, but let's break it down for you because I'm really into this one also. I feel really strongly about these. I don't know if if you're tracking this stuff, like really following closely. The days that I don't get to tag everybody, those win. And anytime we promote and put the play out, those, of course, lose by a hook, right? Always. It's like, it really is crazy. Like, all the way. I don't think we've won on like an actual thing we promoted beforehand. So it's all on me. It's very hard, stuff, yelling at the computer screen and getting, production and stuff. It's harder than you think, believe it or not. I mean, I'm not really as smart, but still. Chris Sale on the bump for the Bravos in the Lone Star State to meet the Texas Walker Rangers. That one's at 720. OU 9.5. Man, I hope it's not on our side. All right, let's break it down. We're looking at Chris Sale. I mean, this guy, I just wrote in big block letters, career strike thrower. Career strike thrower. Check it out. Career strike thrower. 1,700 innings. It's like 1,706. I put the plus on. So a smidge over 1,700 innings pitched, a 5.5% walk rate, 33% ball. Just bananas stuff. That's so crazy, man. That is so crazy. There are people that are proud of that in, half a dozen game sets. And, it's just like, it's ridiculous, man. It's so ridiculous. Like half a decade of 200 inning seasons. Just the guy's the point is he's up there and he is on the attack. Now, just in general, those are the pitchers I like to back in betting, in fantasy. That's what I like. I want the guy that's up there and mean, and he wants the ball, and he doesn't wait, and he's there to work, and he's working. And then we know Sale's got the filth. He's got all that stank. So you check out this year. He's been pretty good. Again, I think he's another one. I think he's catching a little guff for output stats. This is what I think. Check it out. Through 17 2/3 is Chris Sale for the Braves. 4.58 ERA to win a 1.13 whip and a 6.44 OPS. Let's do just my favorite quick lesson, everybody. Okay. ERA and whip are oftentimes the pitching composites, right? The pitching surface stats. We get it. I always use OPS as well. Why? Because any 2 points make a line. It's not very helpful. Bad ERA and a good whip. Good ERA and a bad whip. You don't really know where to go from that. If you have OPS, you have the third point, and it will help you validate which is the outlier, right? Which one you want to believe. Granted, you probably want to lean on whip more than earn runs, but you'd be surprised how much you'll learn. Just that quick little ad. So the point is, when you see a 113 whip and a 644 OPS, what's the ERA? You know what the answer is? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? That's an output style. Like, that happened already. Give me the pitcher that is going to have a 113 whip and a sub 650 OPS. Like, I want that, right? XFIP at 3.3, Sierra 3.1. Fastball still at 95, 28K, 7 walk. However, and I think this was the big thing. So I kind of nerded out in this because I really wanted to win this prop. So the 7% walk, but he has a 30% ball rate. Other good lesson, right? That we use ball rate over walk rate, but 30 is insane. 30 is insane. 35 is average. Every tick down is like a full grade. Like, whoa. That's the best way to think of it, as a grade, like at school, So to be at 30 is outrageous. Like, to be at a 30% ball rate is what George Kirby's doing with his 2.5% walk rate. Like, that's what that is. I went back and looked. It was so stupid. These calls were just straight up atrocious. Quite literally, like, inside the zone on the phone box, which I know you can't fully trust that, but they swear it's more accurate than we say. Regardless, it was inside. You could go look. It was ridiculous. Yeah. So, Chris Sale, like, to get any kind of good money, which we are getting, because, again, the assumption is that there's going to be walks. I'm just not buying it. Chase rate is great, too, which is also really beneficial because if he misses outside of the zone, he has a 39% chase rate. So it's like the pitches that he throws that are not like in the zone, they all induce whiffs, So he's a tough customer up there. Rangers offense is very good, right? Overall, But again, you got to split this stuff, and you really have to look at the disciplinary basket and kind of dissect this whole thing, right? Kind of compartmentalize is really it, right? So the Rangers, pound for pound, are a very good offense. However, right, but against lefties, they have not been great. There's really no way to paper over this. Check this out. They're batting .234, 643 OPS, a .095 ISO, 1 homer and 1 steal, 160 plate appearances. Not nothing, but 1 homer, 1 steal, 9% extra base hit rate. This is really bad. Now, the K rate's at 22, which you probably call average from a team perspective. The walk rate's at 9.5, which you probably call average from a team perspective. But the rest of the underpinning stuff, again, the things that I like to focus on, I call them input stats, underpinning stats, underlying stats, whatever. 14% swing and strike, bottom 8 chase rate, bottom 8 zone contact. 78 zone contact, really poor. Chase rate also bad. So the outcomes have gone pretty well for the Rangers. That doesn't mean they're going to continue, right? Again, you should care a lot less about a 22% K rate than you should about 14.5 swing and strike plus 76 zone contact. That's a pathway to 29% strikeout rates and 30%. Go look what the underpinning stats look like on the guys that strike out with them. That's exactly what they look like. So this is just the idea of regression and trying to look for different kind of stats, maybe using different kind of wavelengths to get at it. So here's the 3-pack, everybody. Chris Sale, under 1.5 walks allowed. I think he's going to come out with a vengeance, throwing nothing but Strizikes. Let's go. It's a 3-pack plus 260. That'll do it for the big show. Thanks for making us your lineup lock destination. Hope you're having some fun. Appreciate people jumping up into the chat. The comments matter. Pressing the like button. It really matters, and it's free. It takes you a second. It's free, and it matters. Hey, man. Got to support. That'll do it, everyone. Jack Flaherty, 2.5 walks allowed, lower. Tyler Alexander, 4.5 strikeouts, lower. Chris Sale, 1.5 walks allowed, lower. Let's keep the gravy train rolling. See ya at the cashier window, hopefully. All right, I'm out of here before I lose my mind and lose my voice. I'm not sure which it'll be first. Thank you all, everybody, for picking up what we're putting down here at Mayo Media Net. Make sure when you join onto Underdog, use the code MMN to let them know Big Johnny sent you. Man, those that's what we want. You want to say thank you. Go sign up to those guys. And that'll do it. I guess enjoy the weekend. Have some fine luck. Catch you in the Twitter streets. And, if you're looking for betting on the weekends, you can check out my Twitter at John Legeza. It'll take you to the Substack at John Legeza. And there is more than you can stomach if you're into this stuff. So, all right, everybody. Remember the last lesson, more important than all, that when you work this hard, it feels a lot less like luck.